Hi, and welcome to the Virgin River Cafe Rewatch podcast. Hey there, Gigi.
Hey, Tracy, how's it rocking?
Oh, pretty good over here. Hanging in there. Me in my Southern California, and you in your Northern California. We're just the
Yep.
California girls.
Yes, we are. We're rocking it from both ends of the coast.
Yep. So here we are on our final episode of season five.
Yay!
It's crazy that we've been doing this long. That I mean, I
Mhm.
I knew we would. Once we start, we're not going to not finish, but it's just, it's crazy to think that for this many episodes we've been doing this.
Well, I still am in awe that people want to listen to us because when you had this crazy idea, I'll be honest with you, I still think it's crazy
I think
to
it's
do
crazy.
this.
I'm allowed a little crazy. That's my life.
That's all right. Because when you said you wanted to do this, I was like, all right, we need to support our bestie. Let's see where this goes. If it's gonna rock, if people are gonna go, who the hell are these women?
Yes, I
Um,
know. Well,
but
okay, so I will reiterate because I probably haven't said this since one of the very first episodes. So the reason that I came up with this idea, and you were like the only person I could think of to do this with, because one, we talk about the show anyway, so why not just talk and, I don't know, record it while we're talking, like whatever. Like, yeah, that's a thing. Um I we were waiting for season six. They were getting ready to film it. We still had to wait for the 3.5 months it took them to film it. And then it was going to be another, like, gosh, who knows? Like, could have been 4, 5, 6 more months. I mean, this was probably, I guess, February of that
Mhm.
year. And they started filming in February. And I'm like, what are we going to do while we wait for them to, like, edit the episode? And I'm like, we should just,
Besides
like,
watching 3 million times.
right. Yes. Besides rewatching, which we do anyway. I mean, come on now. Doesn't everyone, of course. Like, it's just on in the background because it's like such a good
Uh,
show. And we would talk about it anyway. And so, I mean, trying to wait for them to drop any like behind the scenes, which of course they didn't do for season six because of hush hush, because of the wedding and everything. And it's like, just getting through it. I was like, let's, and I looked for a rewatch. I searched. I found a couple, and I just thought, I think we can have more fun with it. I think we can be positive. I think we can just make it stay on track, talk about the show, talk about the behind the scenes, kind of like encourage the positiveness of the characters and try and keep it on a high note, cuz
yeah,
everybody has opinions and there's things we don't like, but we want to keep it positive. And
yeah.
just felt like there just wasn't anything out there like that. And I'm like, we laugh at each other anyway. I mean, I always say when I'm about 75, I have so much material that I will probably wind up doing stand up. I mean, I've been on the phone with you when you've been at some of your jobs, and you're like laughing so hard that people are like,
Yeah,
"What? What?" And you're like,
it's
"No, it's
true.
just Tracy. She's just saying some weird shit." So, but
It's true.
I just felt like we could do this. Why not? I mean, everybody has a podcast, right? Like how
Yeah.
how how hard can it be? Like I bought a microphone, I found some free apps, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos. Like seriously, that's how this came about. Like this is not rocket science. And I don't know. I mean, people listen, so we don't suck. I mean, maybe some people think we do, but whatever. I don't really care. I'm not doing it for like whatever reason. I just thought it would be fun, and people seem to enjoy it, and we're having a good time. So, and if no one ever listened, I that'd be okay too. I don't It doesn't matter, but we've had almost 6500 downloads. So, that blew me away when I looked at that number. I was like, "What?" Like there
Yeah.
is 6500 times people have listened to one of our podcasts. That's
Which,
just
as I
crazy.
said, just blows my mind.
I said, if 100 people listen, that would make me happy.
We're, we're grateful, folks. We are very grateful and
Yeah,
thankful.
it's been really fun. I mean, so far things have been pretty positive. I mean, sometimes it's funny, people will message me through whatever and be like, hey, this detail that you mentioned, or they'll kind of give me a little something like, did you know, or in addition to, and it's the fun
Mm-hmm.
facts that I love so much, because you know me, I love behind the scenes fun facts,
Oh, yes, you do.
all that kind of like the stuff that I like to share because it's just fun for me. I like a full picture.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to just sit and watch a show. I like to know about it.
Yeah.
So it's fun when people send me stuff. So, I encourage, if there's something you got to say, write in. Message me on Instagram, through the website with the podcast. Send us messages. We have 5 stars on Spotify, so yay us. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and we've got people listening from literally all over the world. Like,
Yeah, which still blows my mind.
that is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. But we are very grateful. This is just a fun little project we decided to do. And thank you, Gigi, for riding along with me on my crazy idea. But here we are. And,
Uh,
and we've now done, I mean, 5 seasons. This is the last episode of the 5th season. So this is 54 episodes, right? Is that right?
that's
Yeah, because 4 and 5 each had 12 episodes, and all the rest had 10. So this is 54 episodes.
oh, we've come a
That's
long way, baby, as
that's
they say.
crazy. That is just
Uh,
crazy. We've been very consistent almost every Tuesday. I think we've missed one or two, but life does happen and we do our best. And I do my very best because we are, when I say we are like self made, like I
oh,
record everything. I figured out how to edit the episode, and I figured out how to upload it and get it on all the platforms. And it takes time. I mean,
because,
however
because,
long we record, it takes twice as
because
long to.
exactly. Because, folks, let me explain something. I can barely turn on my phone. She, on the other hand,
Gigi
she has
has
a
to
husband.
show up and talk. That's all I've asked her to do. And that was her
All
minimum
I do.
requirement.
I have no participation whatsoever in any of this getting to you. So let's just note that we need to give a standing ovation to
No.
Tracy because literally I just talk because, as I said, I can barely turn on my phone. So let's just understand where the genius in all of this lies. Okay.
I mean, I figured it out. It's definitely easier than it was in the beginning. I like I said, it takes about however long we record. Then I go back and I edit, and I just basically remove dead space, and if we're repeating ourselves, or I don't know,
Yeah.
sometimes we
As
get
I
off
said,
track, and I try not to let us get off track too much. I might cut some of it out or whatever, but it takes about 3 hours to edit the episode. It's fun. It's like a little fun project, and everybody needs little fun projects in their life. So this is just something fun. I'm gonna be
that's
really.
the,
I gotta tell you,
that's
I'm
the
gonna be
woman,
really sad when we finish the 6th season
that's
and
the
have to
woman
wait for
who
the 7th.
basically who has zero time to do something like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
true. I am very
So
busy.
exactly. So the 2 seconds she has in her day is when she gets to do this. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So, what are you drinking today?
Well, today I am drinking some espresso from my stovetop espresso
Oh, that's
cup. So I love
homemade.
homemade. So that's what I'm having.
Yum. I'm just went kind of basic today. I just am having a caramel iced coffee. I made my own little cold foam, and
Of course you did.
I just, if I've got a few extra minutes and it's real easy to do, my little frother just froths it up for me, and it's just a little yummy right on top. It's tasty.
Your own barista.
Yeah, and I just put a little bit of caramel on that, and it's yummy. So I went basic today. I haven't had caramel in like several days, so I thought, I think I'll go with some caramel today. So yum.
Nice.
All right, so now we're caffeinated. Let's get started.
so we are in season 5, episode 12, Father Christmas. Oh, I love this.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Now, these 2 episodes premiered, remember I said later.
Which explains the color of her hair.
Oh yeah, I did talk about that last time. Yeah, her hair was like, Mel, what happened? Because there's usually not a lot of time between seasons,
Yeah.
or like by between like the episodes in one season, there's usually not a lot of time, but for whatever reason, I don't I might have to look that up to
But
see
you
if
know
it
what
came back.
what I find interesting is usually when people are doing movies or shows, they have like a color swatch or a hair swatch. So they keep the consistency of the hair, just like the uniforms and the clothes.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that with her hair. So her
Yeah.
hair kind of varies in all seasons
It
to
does.
like
It does.
because
It
this
does
is the
change, but it's
reddest.
subtle. It's usually more subtle than this. This is
This,
like they gave her bangs
this
and they
is
made it orange.
oh my God, she looks like a total red
You know what
hair with
someone said? Someone posted when they saw it. They're like, "What did she go see Charmaine? Did Charmaine do her dirty? Like what happened?" So I don't know. I remember seeing something and Martin was that was like behind the scenes and Martin was like, you like your hair? You like your hair?" And she's like, I don't have it. Yeah, this is what they wanted. This is where it goes. This is how it happens, you know. So these two
uh,
episodes premiered on November 30th. They were like an early Christmas present, and it was about like 2.5 months after the other episode. So these two were strictly Christmas themed. After such a hard season, it was nice to have some positive, uplifting Christmas happy times because, God, season 5 was rough.
yes, it was.
So I don't know. Maybe they saw that it was rough and they're like, okay, quick, let's throw together 2 more episodes. Let's make it happy, or the fans are gonna hate us or something. Who knows what happened?
The
But
fans were not happy.
they were
I
not
have to say.
happy. There was way too much
We were
tough stuff
they-
happening. But
yeah, I
that's
was not.
okay. That's okay. So this episode, it says shocking news and unexpected gifts are in store on Christmas Eve as couples and families come together despite their differences. Oh my.
Mhm.
So at least we, at least it's Christmas. So at least it's positive. And of course they're playing Christmas music, and it all depends what songs can you play because some are expensive and some are not. And so Mel and Jack pull up to a cabin and they are sitting there quite reluctant. It's a nice log cabin. It's actually beautiful. She is looking very, very nervous. They just kind of look at it and go, there it is. Now, remember when we left our friends in Virgin River, she had gotten the information from Preacher about where her father is. They figured out his name. They had Preacher call his guy. His guy tracked him down. They found out that he lives in Virgin River. They figured out where, and now they're literally sitting in front of his house. Nerve-wracking. And he's like, so you know what you're gonna say? And she's like, deep breath. She's like, hi, I'm Mel. I'm your daughter. Like, that's very meta. And he's like, yeah, stick with the facts. Right. Good. Yeah. Like, let's just go with that. She's like, and then ease into like the deeper questions. And if all else fails, we can talk about our mutual love for cabins because he's in a log cabin too. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, she literally found out probably within a week before this that
her father wasn't her father.
Yeah, that she is not who she thought she was. That's just crazy. And that fast, there it is.
Yeah.
So they're chuckling about it, and Jack's like, "Yeah, the whole love for cabin thing. Yeah, maybe it's genetic." And then she starts getting very weary. She's like, "I don't know. Maybe this is a mistake." She goes, "I mean, it's a lot to spring on someone on Christmas Eve." She goes,
Okay.
or at all. She looks so reluctant. She goes, maybe I should just like leave the past in the past. And he's like, you can. He goes, I can stick the car in reverse right now and get out of here if you want. She goes, or maybe I'm just nervous and I should stay the course. Talk about wishy-washy. And he takes a deep breath and he's like, well, you might want to figure out what you're going to say because he is now standing in the doorway staring at us. And now she's like, and there's a guy. And when I saw him, I was like, oh, I know that guy. I remember him. I used to watch NBC soap operas, and he's from one of the soaps I loved so much. It was only on for like 6 years, way back in the 80s,
Indeed.
Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
I
Santa
remember
Barbara.
him from Santa Barbara. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like where'd they dig him up from? Like I haven't seen him in years. Usually people who did soaps a long time ago, you'll see them pop up in different shows as like they're character actors. So they pop up as like a patient on this medical show or the gangster on this show or walking into a police station as, you know, a suspect or something. You know, just random one here, one there episode of different shows. But I don't recall seeing very much of him over the years. So when I saw him, I was like, wow, I haven't seen him in a long time. So Jack sort of gives a little wave, and Mel looks like deer in headlights. And she's like, okay, okay. And she undoes her seatbelt, and he's just smiling, trying to be encouraging. She takes a deep breath. He gives her a thumbs up. She gives him a nod, and she starts walking. And she's like, hi. He goes, you missed the no solicitor sign? She goes, no, we saw it. He goes, do you get a lot of solicitors out here? And he's like, no, because of the sign. It's like, okay.
He sounds like a charmer.
Oh, yeah. She goes, yeah, right. That makes sense. So she gets right up to him. He's standing in his doorway. She's literally standing in the doorway, like 2 feet from him. She goes, so if you're selling something, what do you want? If you're not selling something, what do you want? She's like, as she clears her throat, she goes, well, I guess that depends. Are you Everett Reed? Very reluctantly. And he goes, who's asking? And she's like, his daughter. And he kind of like takes a deep breath and sort of stops. She's like, I'm Mel Monroe. She takes a deep breath. She goes, I found some love letters addressed to my mother, Sarah Jensen, from 37 years ago. So now we know how old Mel is. She's at least 38-ish. So
yeah.
That makes sense. Now we see it's nice when they throw these little tidbits in so that we can figure out timelines and stuff because otherwise it's like a freaking mystery.
And you know how good they are with timelines in this show.
Yes, I know. She says, I want to talk to the man who wrote them. And he goes, well, I wish I could help you, but I'm not the man you're looking for. Very matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
And she kind of like, oh, as she kind of gets a little sad, she's like, okay, do you know him? Thinking maybe she's in the wrong house, maybe he moved. Like, probably 1,000 thoughts are going through her head. She goes, do you know where I might be able to find him? And he's like, sadly, I do not. She's like, okay, well, and then there's an alarm in the background, like a kitchen kind of alarm. And he's like, would you excuse me just for a second? And she's like, yeah, sure, yeah. And he leaves the door open. He goes around to check this alarm. And as she's standing there, in his doorway, right inside the house, there's a bookshelf. And on the bookshelf, what does she see? Annual Virgin River Lumberjack Games champion from 1976. The exact trophy that he was holding in the article that confirmed he was who he was and how they found him. So, Mr. Everett Reed is liar, liar, pants on fire. He basically blatantly lied to her. Now,
well, it's like some adoptive parents who don't want to be found.
Yeah.
It's sort of that kind of situation where, you know,
leave the past in the past kind of thing.
Yeah, he does not want to be found.
And you could see as soon as she saw that, the hurt in her eyes, like the rejection, like he blatantly lied to her, knowing who she is, knowing that this is true. And he just, like, it's not a big deal. And he's like, oh, I'm braising a rabbit. You know, leave it a minute too long. And he's just like Mr. Jovial, like, oh, leave it a minute too long and the meat turns to rubber. And she's like, right. I mean, she looks like she's going to cry.
Yeah.
And he's like, is there something else you need? Very matter of fact. She goes, I'm fine. Yeah, thanks. She goes, he's like, I'm sorry I can't help you find what you're looking for. And she kind of nods her head like, it's okay. Merry Christmas. And she just turns around and walks away. And he looks a little sad, but goes back into his house and shuts the door. Mel opens the door. She looks sad. She looks back. She gets in the car. She sits down. Jack's looking very worried. He's like, so? Was that him? And she's like, yeah. Yeah. She's like, but he wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. Poor Mel.
Mm.
It's so sad.
Well, we know there's more to this story.
So much more. So now she's got to like deal with that. I mean, that sucks on Christmas. Like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
God. He could have said, yes, I am, but I just really want to keep my privacy and blah, blah. I mean, he could have, but he just like dissed her basically. He just didn't even acknowledge her, which is almost 10 times worse. God. So Jack takes a deep breath. They're getting out of the car. They're back at their cabin. I say their cabin now because they stay together. He's like, are you sure you're all right? And she's like, yeah. He didn't exist 2 days ago. It's not like I was lacking a father for my entire life, which is true. He goes, it's okay if you're feeling upset. She goes, yeah, I am. I mean, obviously. And she's like, at least I got some clarity, though. He's like, what? She goes, well, before I didn't know if I wanted him in my life. And now I know I definitely don't. And Jack's like, look, he may still come around. Always the optimist, right?
Optimist. Mm-hmm. Half glass filled kind of
Yep. And he's like, you could write him a letter. And she's like, I'm done with letters. He's like, postcard? She's like, seriously, Jack? I mean, at least he's trying to make her laugh. She's laughing at this point. So that's a good thing. It's so cute how they have the cabin decorated. They have all the twinkle lights. They even put twinkle lights on the swing that he put out for her. It's so cute. Oh, my God. It's so adorable. I just love how they decorated the house.
As I said before, in my next life.
Right? I would live in a little cabin like that in the middle of the Pacific Northwest.
A little cabin like that.
Oh, so cute.
It's adorable.
And just sit out front and have coffee. Like, yes, I could see it. So Mel's like, she's like, I want to have an extraordinary Christmas with you and our families who actually want to be in our lives. And she's like, okay. And he's like, okay. He goes, oh, she's like, can we go ice skating later? I just always used to go ice skating with my mom when I was little. And I wanted to go yesterday, but we were on the wild dad chase and everything. So, he's like, yes, let's do that. And she's like, oh, and she gets her phone. Hey, Charmaine, because Charmaine is calling. And she's like, hey, Mel, I'm really sorry to bother you. And Mel's like, nope, it's totally fine. What's up? And they show Charmaine, who is walking, but
waddling.
She is waddling, and girlfriend is huge. Like, those babies are going to drop any minute. And Charmaine is like, I just had to leave work early because I keep having these Braxton Hicks contractions, and I'm wondering if maybe you could take a look. I just don't want to spend Christmas Eve in the ER. And Mel's like, absolutely, no problem. I'm going to leave now, and I'll meet you at the clinic. So off she goes. Charmaine is like, great, thank you. She goes, and I've got something for you and Jack for Christmas. Like, okay, that's where their relationship has now come. Like, they have moved past all of the hurt and the anger and the resentment, and now we're giving each other Christmas presents. I did not think that they have evolved that far. I'm actually kind of impressed. Like, Charmaine has embraced her new reality, and she's focusing. Thank God. See, the thing is, she just needed to focus on a man, and it just happens to be the two that are growing in her body. But that's okay. That's okay. She just needed a new focus. She has one, and she will leave Jack and Mel alone now.
Oh,
so
God.
That's fine. It's crazy, though. She's like, so I'll bring that. And Mel's like, oh, all right. Well, we'll see you in a bit. And she's like, okay. And then Mel turns around to Jack, and he's like, is everything okay? She goes, yeah, we just, and she kind of like, we have to get Charmaine a Christmas gift. And he's like, yeah? She's like, yeah. Like, okay.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So now we're at Hope and Doc's, and Hope is coming out of the kitchen with all kinds of stuff, and Lizzie grabs I don't know, looks like whatever Hope just brought out from the kitchen. Lizzie just grabbed something and went straight to her mouth, and Hope is like, hey! She goes, I made Christmas shapes for everyone, and now I don't have enough elves, because Lizzie keeps eating them. She goes, sorry, I'm a nervous eater. And Hope is like, your mom didn't text you back yet. So I guess they're sitting down to like Christmas Eve dinner. So we've got Denny, and he's in a Christmas sweater, and Lizzie, who's in a Christmas sweater. And the whole table is decorated very, very festively for Christmas. And Lizzie's like, I feel like I'm stalking her now. I've called and I've texted so many times.
I love it.
And Hope is like, well, maybe you should just go over to Connie's and talk to her, because I guess that's where she's staying, because that's the family that lives there. I guess it's Connie's brother's wife.
Brother, yeah, it's Connie's brother. So it's basically.
But we never see the brother. We never see.
No,
we
never see. We hear about him a lot.
Yeah, we
and
hear about him. He's very busy. Just a very, very busy person.
Right.
So.
He's a lawyer.
Right.
That's what we know. And other than that, we know that he bailed her out of jail. And
right. That's all we know.
Other than that, that's all we know. So that's basically her Connie's her aunt, and that's her mother's sister-in-law. So
right. So maybe
yes.
we'll see the dad at some point when this baby is born. We'll see.
We'll see.
Goodness. So Denny's like, I can come with you if you want me to. And she's like, no, I can go on my own. You guys should focus on the competition. Because remember, it's the tree decorating competition in town that everybody's involved in. It's like a really big deal. And apparently Hope and Doc are eager to win because they've won many times before. So, and Lizzie's like, so you have to start loading soon because they have a lot of stuff they got to bring so they can decorate this tree. And Hope looks at Doc and she's like, so how are we looking? He's like, well, we have a slight technical issue. Oh my gosh. Like the last thing that we need is problems. He's like, apparently Lizzie's mom isn't the only one who blew a fuse. The Nutcracker did as well. And that's like their theme for this year is the Nutcracker. And I mean, if there's a problem, Hope is going to blow a gasket. So
yeah,
she is visibly upset at this point.
Yeah, and Hope does not like to lose. It is not in her genetic makeup.
Right. And he's like, it's okay. And she's like, do we have a spare? Because she's freaking out. He's like, we're going to be fine. After breakfast, Denny and I are going to scour the house. And Hope looks at Lizzie and she's like, I thought you were heading over to Connie's. Lizzie just keeps eating. She's like, I am. I was just going to finish breakfast first. But I'm stalling again, aren't I? And Hope is like, I have weenies in the fridge. I'm going to make you a pancake burrito to go. Remember, that's what she made Hope because she couldn't find anything. She was looking for something to make her when she was her aide. And the only thing she could find was, she wanted to give her a burrito, but she didn't have any burrito makings. So she put a hot dog in a pancake and said here, and she actually really liked it. So this is sort of like a little payback. So it's kind of cute that they brought that back. And Talk is like, wow, lucky you. Like, Hope's going to make you something special. So now we are with Kaya and Preacher, and they are having themselves a very good time. They decided, remember how they were talking about going to the lake? Doing a bit of a polar bear plunge? Well, they did. And now they're coming back to where all of their clothes are laid out on a blanket. And she's like, oh my God, that is so cold. He's like, she goes, I can't believe you made me do that. He's like, oh my God, oh my God. And she's like, that is so cold. And he's like, oh, I can't believe you made me do that. And she's like, I can't believe you did it. And he's like, oh, you were just lucky that I love you. She goes, what did you say? I don't think he realized he said what he said. He's like, uh-oh, he dropped the L word. He dropped the love bomb. And he kind of looks like, was
I not supposed to say that?
She's like, ropes first, answer second. Because they're freezing. He goes, yeah, you know what? I said nothing. You heard nothing because I said nothing. He's very, very adamant about it. He's like, oh no, that is one thing in life you can't unhear. The two of them. And she's putting the robe on and she's looking at him and she's like, did you mean it? He's putting his robe on. He's like, yeah, I do mean it. I didn't mean to say it, but he goes, I know you're in the middle of a divorce. She goes, hey, no, listen, it's okay. She goes, it was nice to hear. I can't promise anything to anyone yet. And to me, I love you as a promise. And he's like, yeah, you know, I get it. They give nice hug from the back. So he's holding her back to his front. He goes, but all that matters is that right here, right now is exactly where you want to be. No, it's not. She's like, I want to be in front of a fireplace because I'm freezing.
Exactly. Why are they having this conversation?
I know.
Like, I don't have this conversation in front of roaring fire.
Right?
Robe or no
Well,
robe.
they got to get there. And he's like, I just want to be in front of that fireplace with you. Oh my gosh. He goes, let's get out of here. So give a kiss, grab their stuff, shivering like crazy, and head out. So now we're back at the clinic. Charmaine walks in, and poor girl is waddling. She is breathing heavy. Oh my gosh. And Mel's like, Charmaine? And she's like, hey. And Mel's already got the table set up. She's ready for her. She goes, hey. She goes, oh gosh, are you okay? What's going on? She goes, oh, my contractions got worse. She goes, oh, I forgot your gift. She goes, oh, honey, it's okay. She goes, oh, and the twins' father is here. Now,
Oh.
this
This is where,
I absolutely love this right here. this I think once Mel sees this, it's like if there was a puzzle with the pieces missing, all the pieces are now found, they're blocked into place, and now we see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
And Charmaine says that so nonchalantly, like, oh, and the father is here. And Mel turns around and she sees, he's like, hello, Mel. And the look on her face is like, holy shit. Like, you know, that's what she was thinking. Like, because he threatened her. I mean, it's been, how many times did he threaten her? He threatened Doc. He threatened Jack. He's come after them. I mean, it's been a mess. He's been a menace.
Yeah. It's just been one nightmare after another with this asshole. Excuse me, friends.
No, he fits the bill. And she looks at him and she's like, Calvin? And like I said, the guy who plays this character plays it so good. He is so good as Calvin with the southern draw and the swagger and just the attitude. Like, he plays this part so well.
Yeah, and you get to hate this character because, you know.
Love to hate him. Because I really like him, but I hate him. I hate his him, but I hate his character.
It's just like, oh.
Right?
You know, just like how the character Charmaine just gets under my skin.
Yeah, but see, for me, for me, that's so, right, like, I don't like Charmaine's character. Now I like her a little bit because she's
and the thing about it is, that. And that's the whole thing about great acting.
Yes.
For you to have a visceral reaction to a character.
Yes.
You know, because we know this is not who these people are in real life.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that podcast she did with Zibby and Alex, you know, you get to see who she is.
Right.
But people need to know it's a distinction. She's playing a character.
Yes.
So the character, just like his character, I have a visceral reaction to each character.
I just love him. I don't know. I just think he's great. I know. We'll agree to disagree. That's okay.
I know. But as I said, that is good acting. You know,
he's just so good at his swagger and his attitude and his snarkiness and.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, so
I agree with you.
So Mel is like, Calvin, and he takes his hat off, and she looks at him, and she looks at Charmaine, and Charmaine is like so uncomfortable, and she's hot, and she's just like,
well, she can't be bothered with this right now. She is about to give
she doesn't even at this point.
No.
She's over it.
No, yeah, she can't bother with how people are.
She can't deal with him right now because she's got like babies ready to like burst themselves out of her body.
As they say, she got bigger fish to fry.
Right.
Here.
She's like, he cornered me by my car, and my contraction instantly got worse. And she's hot, and she's like, I took her keys. I didn't think it was safe for her to drive. Like, he cares. I mean, he is human, so he does care.
Yeah,
but
that's still.
I know.
That's still up for grabs.
We don't know, but I mean, he's acting like he cares. Let's give him that. Let's give him that. Because it was very nice of him. He didn't have to. He could have just said, hey, and kept walking. But he took her keys and he drove her there to make sure she got to Mel safe, because knowing that Mel will be able to help her. Oh my goodness.
He's still
And
an ass.
Mel is like, well, no, it wasn't safe for her to drive. You were right. Like, I think she's just in shock and she doesn't even know what. Because her eyes are about as bug-eyed as you can get. She goes, but you could have caused her contractions to escalate. And she's kind of pissed at him.
Yeah.
And Charmaine looks at him. She goes, see? And she goes, and Charmaine's like, so if you're really worried about me, you should get the hell out of here. And he's like, and he does it with his southern drawl. I have the right to be here. Those are my boys, too. And he's trying to be very adamant about it. And Mel, you know Mel, she is fierce when she is in nurse mode. When she is in nurse mode, she is like, yeah, and Charmaine is my patient. So if she doesn't want you here, I don't care if you're the biological father or not, you need to go now. She reaches over, snags her purse right out of his hands, and looks him dead in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
With a stance like, don't F with me. Like, right? Like, she's like, he puts his hat on. Charmaine's in the background, like, barely able to hold herself up, holding her belly, it's now freaking huge. She's probably like, oh my God, can this pregnancy be over? I'm pregnant for 5 years. And he yells over to Charmaine, this discussion isn't over, Charmaine. And Charmaine just, like, taking deep breaths, trying to breathe through her contractions and kind of like, yeah, whatever. And Mel's like, all right. Charmaine is like, now you know why I lied. Like, if it wasn't crystal clear before, Mel doesn't even need the explanation. And poor Charmaine, she's wincing and breathing, and she looks at Mel like, yeah, that's why I lied. And Mel kind of looks at her and like, now I know. Okay. Yeah, let's, As she's wincing some more, she's like, come on, let's get you to the exam room and make sure you don't have the babies on Christmas Eve, okay? And just as they're walking through the doorway, Charmaine yells, ah! And there's water splashing. And guess what? Her water just broke. Up, there's a puddle. And Mel is like, change of plans. You're going to be fine. And Charmaine does not look like she's going to be fine. She looks scared to death. So this next scene is hilarious.
Yep.
So remember when we left our friends in Virgin River, Jack and Bree are trying to deal with their parents because the mom brought her boyfriend to Christmas, Javi, and the dad is pissed because he doesn't want to see his soon-to-be ex-wife kissing someone under the mistletoe, which he did catch them, and so now he's like ready to leave town. And the two of them are not speaking, and it's almost Christmas. And they've probably not spent Christmas together in many, many years, and they finally have the chance to do that, even though half of the other sisters aren't able to make it. But Jack and Bree are going to try their best to salvage this mess. So we've got Jack, and he's like, we are really disappointed in you. And Bree is like, we had a whole weekend planned for all of us to be together. And Jack is like, I promised Mel a big family Christmas, and you're ruining it.
They're scolding their parents. I love it.
And Bree is like, what do you two have to say for yourselves? And the two of them are standing there with their hands on their hips in like Superman pose. And the parents are sitting on the couch getting scolded like children. Oh my God, it's hilarious. And they're looking at the parents. And the mom is like, well, I have to say, I think your father's being petty. And she shrugs her shoulder, and he's like, I'm not being petty. I'm simply not going to spend Christmas with your boyfriend. And she's like, you can't stand to see me happy. I have no problem with you being happy. And he's like, I have a problem when you rub it in my face. Bree is like, guys. And the mom says, what? So you want to see me suffer? And the dad points to himself. He goes, well, do you want me to? And Jack is like, guys. And Amelia, the mom, she's like, that's your choice. And the dad, his name's Sam. He's like, not if he's here. He's like, you're insane if you think otherwise. And finally, Bree's had enough. She's like, guys. And everybody, like, stops. Jack puts his hands in the air like, oh, my God, what am I going to do with you people? And Bree is like, first of all, Dad, insane? Really? And I could just hear her saying that. I mean, she's just so funny. And the mom's looking, like, shaking her head like, yeah, like, egging him on. It's so bad. Second of all, Mom, Dad's request is not wholly out of line. And Bree's trying to be like the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dad gets all smug and he's like, mm-hmm. He goes, well, what would you have me do? Pretend to be miserable? And the dad is like, I think you should send him home. He's like, Jack said it's a family Christmas. Yes. And they're like, yes. She goes, and if things keep going the way that they are, Javier will be part of this family soon enough. And the dad gives her a look like you wouldn't. And Jack leans over and he's like, okay, we are not sending Javi home. Like, very clear. And looks at both of them. He's like, is that clear? So like, so why don't we look at it this way? When we were kids, you always stressed the importance of family and how special it was to be together for the holidays. He keeps going. He goes, well, guess what, guys? This is the first of many Christmases that we're going to have together. And I am not going to shuffle my kids, your grandkids, between houses because you two couldn't figure out how to be civil around each other for 48 hours. Not to mention, I have a wedding coming up. Would you like to be invited? Oh, he's playing the I could disinvite you from my wedding card. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
They both look at him like he has lost his mind. And Bree's just like standing back, just in support. And Amelia's like, yes, we would. And Sam's like, of course. And Jack's like, oh, that's great. I'm going to tell you the same thing you told us when we were kids. And he looks very smug and very matter of fact, like I've got the upper hand now. You two are not going to leave this room until you work this out. And he's very stern about it. And the mom goes to say something, and he's like, nope. Not a word. Points at her like, not a word. And she's looking at the dad, and the dad's looking at her like, oh, crap. We've got ourselves in such a pickle.
Yeah, payback is a bitch, isn't it?
Now they're stuck figuring it out. Now they're going to have to figure it out. So we're back at Connie's house, and Lizzie's mom is sitting on her bed, and she will not speak to Lizzie. She hasn't called. She hasn't texted. She won't answer any of Lizzie's calls or texts. And Lizzie shows up, and she's very apprehensive going through the door. She knocks on the door, and she's like, can I come in? She goes, it is your room. She's like, I know, I was just trying to be respectful of your space, while also invading it by showing up. She goes, I wish you had been respectful enough to tell me about your pregnancy. Okay, I'm sorry, but how do you tell this woman anything? Because anything Lizzie has ever told her, she has either discounted, shot it down, made her feel stupid about. I mean, like, why would you tell her anything? I'm sorry.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't respect anything about Lizzie, so why should Lizzie include her in anything? I'm sorry. Like Lizzie said before, she was raised by nannies and her parents were never around. They didn't care about her. And the mom looks at Lizzie. She goes, well, you still had a decision to make about it. Oh, wow. Lizzie looks at her. And if you think I am breaking the news to your father, she kind of looks at her. And Lizzie's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. She goes, but I didn't need your help making this decision. Like, very matter-of-factly. She goes, I would like your support, though, if that's possible. And the mom's very indignant. She won't even look at her. God, she's
got this almighty presence about her, like, she's better than everybody else.
Oh, yes. Yes. And she feels like it's up, that she knows what's best for Lizzie, and Lizzie just needs to do what she thinks she should do, and then everything will be fine. Which is absolutely against everything Lizzie wants to do. So
exactly.
She clearly doesn't even know her daughter. Like, really.
Nope, she doesn't.
And the mom is like, you're still a teenager, Lizzie. This is a lifelong commitment. Like she doesn't know that. I swear she thinks Lizzie is an idiot, too.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I think the problem is she's feeding off of Lizzie's past escapades. And so basically in her head, she feels that that's the Lizzie she's dealing with, not
Reckless
realizing that Lizzie doesn't exist anymore. That this Lizzie she's dealing with is a much more mature Lizzie. So that's what she's going off of too.
But keep in mind, Lizzie explained that all of her antics were to try and get her mom's attention.
Oh,
it wasn't that she was a bad kid. And the mom, it's like, she was never that person. She pretended to be that person to try and get her mom to pay attention to her, which clearly
Right.
did not work, considering she
Right.
sent
But
her to go live with Connie.
But the thing about it is, this is what children do when they're trying to get the attention of their parents. And so when Lizzie came to Virgin
Connie.
River, she got Connie, who gave her structure. We always say this.
Yep.
I've
They don't
dealt
want
with
it, but they
children.
need it. Yeah.
They need it, exactly. And the thing about it is, she got it there. She got responsibility, first taking care on the bakery truck,
Yep.
then taking care of Hope, then now working for Hope as the mayor.
And in such a short time, too. I mean, in like 5,
Exactly.
6, 7, 8 months, maybe 10 months. She is
Right.
completely. And the thing is, it was always there in her. Her mom just didn't want to
Exactly.
see it and didn't care.
Well, they didn't know it existed because in their mind, she was just always in trouble.
Right.
And they didn't give her the recognition she needed because what she needed was her parents.
They didn't
and
figure
were
out
busy.
why she was in trouble. They didn't even
Right.
sit her down
Well,
and go, what is going on with you? Imagine if that
Right,
conversation
exactly.
would have happened. None of this would have
Yeah.
happened.
Exactly. And the thing is, they're busy schmoozing with the Joneses and trying to show their status and instead of trying to raise their child.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like those people who have the 2.5 children or have the one child.
Yeah, and like a nanny for each of them and all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's people with nannies that are very involved with their children's lives, but there's people that are never around. They don't. It's like their nanny knows the kid better than they do. Like that's not.
Well,
that's this family. That's Lizzie's reality. She said she had no less than 3 nannies at all time. Like what one kid needs 3 nannies? So Lizzie's like, I know that. I know it's a lifelong commitment, and Denny does too. And she's holding her belly this whole time because it's almost like the mom is like, you should have taken care of this.
Yeah.
Like that's what she implied. Oh yeah, she is very protective.
She's protecting it because it's almost like she doesn't want her child to hear this conversation,
right?
if you know what I mean. It feels like that.
Yeah.
Which is so cute.
It's adorable. It just shows how mature she really is. And Lizzie, she looks like, I mean, she's heartbroken. She's like, but we won't be doing this alone. And the thing is, she's not even including her mother in this because the whole town is 100% there to support them. Like it's like the family. It's like so many people in this town don't have their own like actual families, but they have created their own with this town.
Exactly, and that's the thing about a small town.
Yeah,
where as bad as it is, they're in your business is also as good as
you hate it and you love it at the same time.
Exactly. Because as good as it is that they are there for you, you know, because that was very evident when Lily had you know,
everybody came together.
Everybody came together. That we learned about the phone tree and we learned about how people helped each other. And even when
literally,
they had the
people dropped everything.
Exactly. So this child will never not.
We'll have more aunties and uncles than it knows what to do with.
Tell me about it. And with Hope and Doc, oh my God, they're lucky if they get to hold this baby.
Yeah, I know, right? And she's like, but we won't be doing this alone. And she's like, they say it takes a village to raise a child. She goes, we have a whole town. And the mom just shakes her head no. And she goes, I just don't see why you couldn't have waited. It's not like, I don't think she planned this. She goes, we didn't plan this, see? Exactly. She goes, but if we have this baby now, Denny can see his child grow up into an adult. If we waited, he'd miss out on so much. She goes to grab her hand. She sits down next to her mom. She goes, I'm truly sorry about his condition. She was like crying. She goes, but you're my little girl, and I don't want to see you sacrifice your whole life for him or for a baby. And Lizzie kind of looks at her, and she's like, I know it might seem that way. She goes, because you were so focused on having a career at my age. She goes, but I'm not seeing this as a sacrifice. She goes, I'm going to keep working. I love my job, but I'm more excited about being a mom than anything. I want you to be a part of it. So, can you please get on board? And she grabs her, like, she touches her face. She goes, if this is what you want, I'm going to try and support you. And they're both tearing. She goes, can you also try to be a little excited? She goes, you're going to be a grandma. And the mom is like, no, I am too young to be a grandma. She goes, I'm going to need a cuter name. She goes, I think that can be arranged, as they're both crying. Oh, she finally hugs her. Maybe she can get on board. Good Lord.
We'll see. We shall see.
So now we have Denny, and he's digging in a toolbox, looking for some stuff. I think they're looking for the fuses. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I think I found it. He's Grandpa? And Doc's looking in some, I don't know, some armoire, and he pulls out this wedding book, and he goes, oh. He's like, this is Hope and Mai's wedding album. And Denny's like, can I see it? And he's like, yeah. And they both sit down and pull out the pages. He's turning the pages. He goes, best day of my life. And it's the two of them together. And it's the two of them, both Tim Matheson and Annette O'Toole, have been acting for 30 plus years. So there's many pictures of them from over the years. And they actually did a movie together. I want to say it was in the 70s. I'll have to look that up. But they actually were married, I think, in this movie. So they've known each other forever. And I'm sure that they've, even if they haven't been friends over the years, I'm sure everybody travels in the same circles because they're both in LA. So if they're not in the same circles, they know the same people. I'm sure that their paths have crossed over the years before coming back together here on Virgin River. So, I mean, when we're looking at pictures, whether this is an actual picture of them or it's something that they put together, it actually looks like a real picture.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look like it's computer generated.
Because the computer generated runs, I'm sorry, I've made better computer generated pictures than I've seen some of these shows put together with when they have like fake people together or, you know, it's just.
I know. Some of it is so crappy. I'm like, could you not have done a better job in putting that together?
CGI and you can't edit, a little Photoshop. I mean, come on.
No, it's so pathetic. I know. I agree with you there.
But yeah, it looks like a wedding of the two of, and it's wedding pictures, black and white pictures, which black and white pictures are easier to manipulate than color. Yes. Very much easier. But yeah, some really great pictures. He goes, you know, that could be you and Lizzie one day if you both want it to be. And Denny's like, I think we do. I just want to make sure we're really ready for that commitment. I mean, good Lord, you're having a baby. How much more commitment do you need? Jesus, dude.
I was going to say that. I was trying to be polite here.
No, and he's like, you know, we're signing up to take care of a child. And Doc's looking at him like, he goes, but Lizzie would be signing up to take care of me one day, too, which is a really big commitment because once he gets sick and it starts deteriorating, she's going to have to take care of him. And he's like, I just want her to sit with that for a while. It's like one hurdle at a time. Like, let's get used to the baby idea.
That's very
So, okay, I get that. That is very considerate of him. He's not like jumping, like if he wasn't sick and he loves her, he might have just said, just marry me. Let's just do this. Yeah, that's a big commitment. And Doc is like, but you sign up for that with any marriage. Because remember, in sickness and in health. And he's like, yeah, Lizzie said as much when we talked about it. But see, the difference is they know that sickness is coming. It's one thing when you get married and you'd say, oh, in case, you know, sickness and in health, like just in case that happens, but you don't, they know what the future is. He's just like, I still think we need time to work through it all. And Doc's like, okay, but he goes, you got a good heart, so just listen to it. It's so nice that he's got like a father figure because his dad passed away, and Doc probably always wanted to have kids because I think they tried and it just didn't work, and he never had that, and so it's sort of like his second chance at being a dad. Because in a way, I know he's a great grandfather. I mean, that's his grandson, and he's gonna be a great grandfather. But it's almost like he's taking the role of father and then grandfather. Yep. He goes, "You'll know when the time is right." Denny's like, "That does look amazing, getting married." Yeah, the picture's great. Doc's just like looking at the pictures, reminiscing. He goes, "It was the perfect day." I mean, beautiful pictures.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I would give anything to do it all over again. And Denny's like, why don't you? You and Hope were saying you were planning a vow renewal. Doc's like, oh, yeah, well, it was a while ago. And, you know.
I even forgot about that.
I know, right? I forgot about that, too. And he goes, and then there was Hope's accident, and everything is so uncertain. And Denny throws it right back at him. And he's like, well, I'm certain that you'll know when the time is right. And he looks at him, and they both kind of laugh. Doc phone's ring in, and he looks at it, and he's like, oh, Mel needs me to come down to the clinic.
Oh yeah,
So
something's about to be born.
I know. He's like, take this fuse to Hope in the Village. So they got to get that nutcracker working. He goes and help her and Lizzie to set things up. And I'll be there as soon as I can. And Denny's off. He goes, that Yule log is as good as yours. Because that's I guess, the prize. And he goes, ours. He goes, oh, and I got Lizzie's lab results with the sex of the baby. He goes, now, I was going to wrap it up, but I thought that you two might want to open it in private. It's up to you. And he hands it to him in an envelope. And he's like, thank you. So now they're going to know if they're having a boy or a girl. So now we're at the clinic. So Mel is in like protective gear, and she's got gloves on, and she's got the blood pressure cuff and a stethoscope. And we've got Charmaine in a hospital gown bouncing on a ball. She is just breathing heavy. And Mel's like, all right, Doc is going to be here soon, because remember, they're going back to the original plan. So the original plan was that she was going to deliver the babies at the clinic with Doc and Mel, and they were going to have an ambulance on standby in case they needed to go to the hospital. So that's the plan they decided to stick with. Mel is just kind of helping her and sitting there with her, and Charmaine is like, I guess I won't be the first patient at the new birthing center. Doc and
Cameron,
Muriel and Mel had their staff meeting, and they had decided that there's just a big need for almost like a women's center, a birthing center in Virgin River. And so that's an idea that they're gonna develop. And I don't know, I think they thought maybe they would get it open soon and maybe hold out for Charmaine's babies, but I guess not. So that's why Charmaine's like, I guess I won't be the first patient at that new birthing center. And Mel's like, we can do everything that we would do there right here. She goes, like this bouncing ball thing, does this really work? I mean, Charmaine seems very skeptical about this ball. And Mel's like, it really does. And Charmaine looks very uncomfortable. She keeps wincing. She's rubbing her belly. Mel's like, it allows the baby to move down the birth canal. It's like, to make your labor quicker. And if you rotate in a circle like a hula hoop, as Charmaine tries to do that, she goes, there you go. It helps take the stress off your lower back. She goes, oh, I don't think anything is going to alleviate my stress right now. And Mel,
yes.
and you know, Mel is dying. This is remember I said we would find out how Calvin and Charmaine got together? And there's one line that explains everything. And this is the line that's coming. And it's like, as soon as I heard that, it's like I've repeated it, not on here because I didn't want to spoil it. But this is the line I thought of way back when we tried to figure out when she got pregnant and how that all happened. And this line literally explains it all. And Charmaine, she's sweating, and she's trying to put her hair up. She goes, I just don't want the boys to end up like him. And Mel's like, you're going to raise these boys, okay? That's what matters. Like, she's trying to have her focus on positive things and not worry about Calvin, because Calvin's just going to stress her out more. And she doesn't, She goes, well,
Calvin stresses everybody.
Yeah. So she's like, well, he has rights as their father. And she knows that, but I mean, Mel's like, well, his rights aren't absolute. I mean, he doesn't have the best track record.
Well, that's the whole thing. His criminal background can basically almost take away his parental rights.
Exactly. And Mel's like, shouldn't he be in jail? Like, I mean, they thought he got blown up, and he's like, where's the explanation? Like,
no, they never explained that.
Well, here we go. So we get a lot of answers, and this episode gives so many answers to this whole situation. I mean, it's kind of nice that they wrapped that part of the story up. It's kind of nice. Charmaine's like, yeah, well, the FBI dropped all the charges because he was cooperating.
Yeah.
And she groans, helping them with Melissa Montgomery. And then she tried to kill him. And Mel's like, oh, yeah, that. She goes, and then they put him in witness protection. As she groans through her contractions telling this story. And Mel's like, Charmaine, I am really sorry. Like, she says that with the utmost sincerity. Like,
Mel never says anything that she doesn't mean. That's the problem with
I
Mel.
know, but knowing, I mean, it's one thing to hear about Calvin. She knows about Calvin. Like, she is intimately, like, associated with the whole, and this was from the very beginning. Like, her first
Oh
couple
yeah,
weeks there, she was
exactly.
dealing with Calvin.
Exactly.
So
She
she knows
knows him.
exactly who he is.
Yeah. She knows he's a scum of the earth.
Right. And while Charmaine is being forthcoming, you know, Mel, she doesn't hold back. I mean, she's like, so how did you get mixed up with him? And here we go. And Charmaine laughs. Like, laugh. She goes, like how all mistakes are made. My favorite line of this episode. A mixture of sadness, anger, and copious amounts of alcohol. I absolutely love that. Like, that's it. She was mad at Jack, sad because
Yep.
Jack was with Mel, and she drank too
Mhm.
much. And Calvin just happened to be there.
Be there. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. A mixture of sadness, anger, and copious amounts of alcohol. That line lives rent free in my head. She's like, I was mad at Jack. And just then, the universe is calling. The door opens. Jack walks in, and he's like, Mel, are you here? And she's like, please keep this between us. She's like, absolutely. Like, now they're besties. Like, seriously. They went from, like, mortal enemies to now they're sharing secrets. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine? Mel and Jack don't keep secrets from each other anymore.
Yeah. Right. But this is patient. So
yes,
yeah.
this is patient confidentiality, and she can pull that card, no problem. So Jack comes in, and he's like, okay, so my parents are working things out. And she looks up, and he goes, so I'm here to salvage the day to take you ice, as he pauses, looking at Charmaine bouncing on a ball, looking at Mel in her medical getup, skating.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands there, like dumbfounded. And they're like, hey, Charmaine, what you doing there? Like, he doesn't know. He looks a little nervous. She goes, oh, I'm just, twerking my way through labor as she's bouncing on the ball. That's so funny. And Mel smiles at him and goes, oh, great. I'm gonna go. Okay. And, hey, gives her a thumbs up. Good luck. She's like, I don't need luck. I've got Mel. Aw, that's kind of nice. And he's like, I'll keep you posted, okay? And she's breathing heavy. And Mel just smiles. He goes, hey, everybody. Hey, Jack. You thinking of scrubbing in as Doc walks in?
Oh, yes.
And Jack's like, no, I'm gonna leave that to you professionals. Dude can't get out of there fast enough. Merry Christmas, and out he goes. He's like, peace out. Yeah, he's like, thanks, but no thanks. And Doc grabs some gloves, and he's like, how's it going? And Mel's like, well, she's almost 8 centimeters. And he's like, oh, she's doing great. He goes, great. Would you say that? Really? Is that great? Would you say that I'm great? Because she's not feeling great. And Doc's like, well, I think you look great. As they laugh, he goes, I think you're doing great.
Yes.
And then Mel's taking her blood.
Gonna be a walk in the park?
Oh no, she's gonna birth twins.
Exactly.
So Mel checks her blood pressure, and she's making a face. And Charmaine looks at Mel, and she goes, what? What's wrong? I've seen that face before. Something's wrong. Mel doesn't hide it very well. She goes, well, your blood pressure's a little bit higher than I would like it to be. She goes, what does that mean? She goes, it could be nothing. Could be preeclampsia. Oh, that could be bad.
Yeah.
She goes, and if that's the case, that means your babies are possibly not getting enough oxygen. So we should go ahead and get you up on the exam table. That way, give you an antihypertensive IV to bring your blood pressure down. Keep those babies safe. It's all good. So she's groaning. Ugh. Okay, so now we're at the village in town, and everybody's decorating. Everybody gets a tree, and they have to decorate it any way they want, and then it's a contest. So Muriel walks by Hope's tree as Hope and Lizzie are working on it, and she's like, "Good luck, Hope." She goes, "Oh, thank you, Muriel. You too." She looks at Lizzie and gives her a look. And she says to Lizzie, "So I'm so relieved that you and your mom are okay." She goes, "That takes a huge load off." And Lizzie's like, "I know. I feel 100 times lighter." She goes, "Despite the pancake burrito," as Hope giggles. She even promised, so Lizzie says she even promised to come tonight and vote for our display. Oh, that's nice. She goes, "Well, in that case, she and I are destined to be good friends." And then Joellen shows up. She's carrying a box. She's walking by, and she's also in this contest. And she's like, "Hi, Hope. Where is your better half?" As Nick follows Joellen with some more boxes. And she goes, "Oh, he had an emergency at the clinic. Where's yours?" And then Nick's standing right there. And she goes, "Oh, very funny. I hope you can keep your sense of humor tonight." Oh, he goes, "After you suffer a crushing defeat."
I love the competition in this town. Well, don't you?
And Hope is like, "You two may be reigning champs, but this year, victory will be mine." It's like such healthy, fun competition, but they are so into it.
Oh yeah.
She goes, "And Vernon's, but mostly mine," as Nick laughs. And Joellen's like, "Well, good luck, and remember, no shame in second place."
Oh,
as they walk away, and Hope's kind of giving him a look like, ugh. And then Denny shows up. He goes, "Hi, I got the fuse." He goes, "Hey, thank goodness. Come up here, give me a hand. We got a lot of work to do." They're trying to fix the lights, and they got to hurry up. Now we're at the bar, and it's fully decorated for Christmas. There are Christmas lights all over the bar, in the back by the liquor.
Christmas threw up.
I was just going to say, Christmas clearly threw up. And they have a table set for what looks like 20 people. So I believe the bar is closed, and they're hosting like a Christmas dinner. So Jack is putting plates on the tables as he's setting the table, and Bree says to Jack, "So was it weird to see her in labor with the twins?" And Jack is like, "Yeah, it was very weird. But I do wish her well. I was really glad to see her happy. I mean, despite the labor pains, of course." So Bree says, "Speaking of pains, how do you think it's going with Mom and Dad?" And he's just laughing. He's like, "I don't know. Maybe no news is good news." So she says, "I mean, if we get them to sit around this table tomorrow, we will have pulled off a Christmas miracle." He's like, "I was really hoping that they would be here tonight for the Christmas tree competition. You know, so we could all be together, rally around Mel a little." And she's looking at him. He's like, "Maybe I'm being a little too optimistic." And she's looking at him like, "I support your family goals, but I gotta say, I mean, taking Mel out of it, I'm sort of shocked you care so much about having a big old family Christmas." He's like, "What are you talking about? Why?" She's like, "Well, you were the first one to bail on our family Christmas." Because remember, he left. He went into the army. He was gone for like 20 years. So he wasn't around very much when she was a kid. He's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, I was the oldest, so I was the first to fly the coop. I also went to war." She goes, "Yeah, I get that." She goes, "But you could have come back after. You didn't. I mean, I know you had issues with Dad, you know, and everything, but everything after the war, I don't know. We all missed you. And I kind of think it gave Donna permission to follow your lead." He's like, "Come on, are you really blaming me for our family Christmases falling apart?" She goes, "Yeah, totally. In fact, come to think of it, that is probably the beginning of the end of Mom and Dad, too." He goes, "Oh, you're funny." At least they're laughing about it. He goes, "Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to it, you know." Because, I mean, everything changes when kids grow up. They move out, start their own families, traditions get broken. But I do know the more that Mel and I are talking about starting our own family, the more I do miss our family Christmases. He goes, "Well, you know what they say. Home is a place you grow up wanting to leave and grow old wanting to get back to." Well said, Bree. He goes, "Yeah, I guess that's true." He goes, "Well, definitely feels more like home now." He's like, "Yeah, it means a lot to me." She goes, "It means a lot to me, too." He goes, "And I love that we're creating new traditions together." He goes, "Yeah, look at us, like the grown-ups." They're acting like grown-ups and their parents are acting like the kids. He goes, "Inviting Mom and Dad and our sisters to take part in it, even if they don't show up for us, well," he goes, "I don't know. I think if we still show up for each other, we're going to be okay. She's like, yeah, definitely. Big hug. And the funny thing is, these two are like actually good friends in real life. So the fact that they play brother and sister, it's the same with like um, Mel and Bree, how they're
Yeah.
friends on the show, but they're like best friends in real life. So it's like when you see them with each other and caring and hugging and showing affection and being there for, it's real. Like that, they're not faking that. That's, I mean, yes, it's acting, but they genuinely care about each other. So it really plays well for their characters too. So it just makes things feel more real, that they really do care about each other. So it's really nice. Big hugs, and they're like, "You're the best." And he's like, "Do you remember when we were kids and I did that?" And he grabs her around the neck and he pulls her like he's going to give her a noogie. All right, so we're back at the clinic, and Charmaine is on the table, and girlfriend is sweating and groaning. She's in position, and Mel is like, okay, we ready to do this? She is waiting to catch those babies. And now, when they were filming this, I remember, was I reading something or it was I don't know. They were laughing because she had a fake belly and she had her legs up in the air, and she goes, this is a really interesting position that we've found ourselves in. You know, and they just had to like, she goes, you have to sit there and stare up at you for the next couple of hours. It's pretty funny. So Mel's like, on your next contraction, give me a big push. She goes, ready? Okay. And Charmaine is like pushing, yelling. Oh my goodness. She goes, okay. Good job. She goes, last blood pressure was very good. Doc's monitoring her blood pressure. He goes, I'm getting a little occasional deceleration in the fetal heart rate, because he's monitoring the babies. He goes, and Charmaine's like, what? Is that okay? Is that right? She goes, it's perfectly normal. She goes, as the babies make their way down the birth canal, Doc's like, Mel's right. I've got my eye on it. It's fine. And Mel's like, next contraction, same thing. And so she's wincing and she's screaming and screaming. And Mel's like, okay, okay. And we got a baby. So we hear a baby and she goes, oh, Charmaine, he's beautiful. And they take one of the babies and they put it in. They have two little warmers. And Doc's right over there checking on the baby. He's cutting the cord because there's no dad there to cut the cord. And he goes, that's a boy. And Mel's like, okay, now just take a little rest and we're going to do this all again. It's like, oh my God. So Doc's going to take care of the baby. And she's like, I don't think I can, as she cries. And she's like, hey, hey, hey. She puts her forearms on Charmaine's knees. And she leans over to her and she goes, yes, you can. She goes, you absolutely can. She goes, and your first baby is here. As she's crying. She goes, and I'm here, and Doc's here, and we got you. She's like, okay. She's like, okay. She goes, I just wish my mom was here too. Remember her mom passed away of cancer years back?
Yeah.
Poor thing. And Doc's like, well, she's here. I could swear I was looking at her just now. And she's like, thank you, as she cries. And Doc's like, okay, this little guy wants you to meet his brother. See, and he holds the thing up so she can see the baby. And she takes a look at him. Everybody's smiling. It's like, she's like, okay, are you ready? She goes, the other one's ready. Are you ready? And she goes, okay, you've got this. She screams again. And Mel's like, okay, as she's simulating pulling a baby out of her. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, hi. And Charmaine's crying. She goes, you did it. You did it. And she picks up the baby and she brings it over to the other warmer. She gives the baby to Doc, and he goes, that's a boy. And he puts him in the other little thing. He goes, you want to see him? She goes, yeah, I want to see him. So Mel wraps the baby up, and she puts one baby on one side of her. And she goes, there you are. And then Doc puts the baby on the other side. They've got them both wrapped up, and he goes, here's number 2. And she goes, you did it. They've got Silent Night playing in the background, and you have 2 brand new babies. Oh, they're so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like actual newborns. I hate it when shows like have somebody have a baby
And it's huge.
and it's like a 3-month-old. It's like, really? Now, I know that, like, because of child labor laws, like, infants, I think, are only allowed to be on set for like 20 minutes
Well, and that's why
a
we
day.
have multiple. That's
Yes.
why we have multiples. But don't put a 3-month-old and think that nobody notices this is a huge ass baby.
Yeah, it's like, seriously? Like, no, trust me.
Exactly.
She didn't
There-
birth that one.
I know. There's enough newborns being born in America, especially LA, that you can get twins or triplets or whatever it is. So it's not that hard to come by
Yeah,
that I'm
for
aware
sure.
of. I've been told enough times that they've got, their mothers who are on the roster who sign up for things like this even before the babies are born.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's funny that she says this. She goes, I've waited so long to meet you, which is hilarious if you know the story that she's been pregnant for freaking 5 years.
5 years.
I mean, these kids should be walking out going to kindergarten at this point, right? I mean, come on. Lord have mercy. So funny that she said that. I've been waiting to meet you. I've waited so long to meet you. And then just 2 babies just cooing. So cute. And Doc, even I know that Doc's the one that had an affair with her mom, and it wasn't her fault and whatever, but he's never, even though Hope put a lot of blame on Charmaine, which was unjustified because it wasn't her fault.
Because part of it is when you're looking at the woman who had an affair.
Well, and she looked like her mom, so I mean, that's hard to look at.
Yeah, it's hard to look at.
But
it doesn't excuse it, but it's, you understand to some degree where Hope was coming from.
Well, and Doc never, it's almost like he never put any blame on Charmaine, and he always sort of indirectly kept an eye on her. Like, he's always been sweet to her.
Yeah.
Regardless, and he's never disrespected her, never gave her any problem all through the years. Because he was the one that made the mistake. I mean, granted, her mom was there too, but still. And he just always kind of kept an eye on her and was always a little bit sort of in the background there for her, sort of like rooting for her, but not outwardly because that would have looked really bad. Yeah. But, I mean, I think in the last 5 seasons, he's come to sort of take her under his wing a little bit.
Yeah.
Very subtly. Like, remember the time she was pregnant sitting in the doctor's office and he was like, Charmaine, why don't you come on in? Like, everybody's looking at her like, oh, she's pregnant with Jack's baby. Oh, my God, they're messing up Mel and Jack, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's talking about her. And he pulled her into the office and he had a moment with her. He's like, let's listen to the baby. Like, let's bring it back to why we're here. Let's check the babies. It's like he's always checked in on her when they see each other in town. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay? Like, he's not like everybody else has been. Like, regardless, he's maintained some kind of respect to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm so proud of you, Charmaine. He goes, and I know your mama is too. So sweet. She's like, thank you. As one of the babies starts to cry. And Mel's like, they're beautiful. I mean, Mel just lost her baby. So, for someone who's had this much had this many problems with infertility and has now lost 5 babies, being a midwife, God, that's gotta be hard. That has got to be torture.
Yep.
Because obviously when she became a nurse and decided to be a midwife, she didn't know her infertility issues were going to happen.
Nope.
I mean, you just can't know that. So this is, it's like happy and sad. It's very bittersweet. She's happy for Charmaine, who didn't even want to have kids, like wasn't planning on it, and realized that this may be her last chance to be a mother because of her age and she doesn't have a relationship and whatever. And then Mel couldn't get pregnant if you paid her. Charmaine just ends up pregnant because she
it's like Lizzie
fell into bed. I know, another one.
Yeah, as you like to say, some people you just have to look at them and they get pregnant.
They say stand next to your husband and you get pregnant, but that's not Mel. Lord have mercy. So she's looking at these babies and she's like, they're beautiful, and she's genuinely happy. She's like, good job, but you can tell there's a little sadness in her face.
Yeah.
So we're back in town and Muriel is decorating her very beautiful tree. And Cameron shows up and she's like, hey. And he's like, hi. And he has coffee for her. She goes, this looks beautiful. She goes, thank you. And I love the pom-poms. She goes, yeah, they hang just as well as they did 20 years ago. And Cameron laughs. He goes, is that for me? She's like, thank you. He goes, so what's happening? So is everything okay at the clinic? Cameron's like, actually, I wasn't at the clinic. He goes, oh, where were you? Oh,
boy.
no, because remember?
Yeah.
At
His
the
action.
show, his ex showed up. Oh,
Oh boy.
no. He
This
goes,
is not.
my ex-fiance Michelle showed up at the play last night.
Mm.
And she's like, and she asked me to talk this morning. He's like, I should have told you, but I wasn't sure that what she'd have to say. Well, she's like, what did she have to say? He goes, well, apparently she's sober. She wants to give us another chance, start a family, build a life together. He looks very reluctant, and Muriel is like,
Yeah.
very matter-of-factly, I see. She's like, and what did you say? And he's like, well, I told her I have a life here with you. And she looks at him like, you poor fool. Like, really? I mean, she takes a deep breath and she's like, okay, look, I know this hasn't come up yet, but I don't want children. I mean, she probably might be able to have some, but because I think she's only like 55. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. It's probably too far gone. But if they wanted to have kids, they could adopt, whatever. But she's like, I don't think she ever wanted to have kids.
No, I don't think so.
She wanted her career.
Her career. And nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. And
So.
she just looks at him and she's like, I mean, I did once upon a time. That time has passed. And he looks at her and he's like, I wasn't sure, but I want you to know that I am good with the family of two. You're all I need. And he gets close and they give us a little kiss.
But she knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knows better.
Yeah, she's going to put a pin in this because this is definitely going to require much more of a conversation than they have time for right now.
Yep.
So she's like, all right, well, can we get to work? She goes, you can help me with these finishing touches because this tree is not going to Yule log itself. He's like, okay. And so he grabs their coffees, puts them aside. You can tell now she's thinking. The wheels are turning and she's got to make a decision. Is she, and it's not really up to her. It's up to him. But is she going to push him away because she feels like maybe he really wants a family, or is she going to accept whatever he says as the truth and move forward?
I think the thing is she's going to make him face reality.
Yeah.
What is it he really wants? In besides her feelings involved. What is it because the thing about it is when you get to that age or our age, you already know what you want for yourself.
Right.
You're not about to change it for anybody.
Right.
You're set in your ways, whatever. But he's still a young man.
He's a good, I would say 10 years younger than her is what I would guess.
Yeah. And the thing about it is he still has potential to start the family that he wanted. Because remember, one of the things he talked about when he was talking to Jack and Mel when he first met them was that he wanted a family, And so the thing about it is.
So now he's like wishy-washy.
Yes. And you and I are fully aware of people who give up that dream and end up resenting it.
Sure. That, and that happens that you make the decision in the moment and then you might look back 10 years later wishing you had made a different decision.
Yep.
So she doesn't want him to be resentful later, regret later. So she, I think, is sort of thinking, how can I make sure that this is really what you want?
What he wants. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, this is definitely going to have to be a discussion they deal with later because she will not she's not going to let that just go the way, she's not going to accept what he said as the final until she figures it all out.
As you said, they're going to put a pin in it and get back to it after this competition.
So he's like, so now what can I do? So she refocuses, gives him a bunch of decorations, and is like, start with that. So we're looking at some snow-covered scenery. We're back at the clinic. Doc is pouring himself some coffee in the kitchen, and Mel walks in, and And she's like, hey. And he's like, hey. And she's like, they're resting. And she's like, Charmaine's aunt is on her way. Oh, thank goodness. The aunt from Oregon who had offered to have Charmaine come and visit. I'm glad she's got some family coming to help her out because she is going to need it in the beginning. At least she didn't have to have a C-section, so hopefully she'll be up and around a little bit. But the extra hand, especially with 2 babies, will be really nice. Doc pours Mel a cup of coffee, hands it to her, and he's like, yeah. He goes, and Mel's like, you were great in there. And he goes, oh, thanks. He goes, you were too. He goes, you know, sometimes when I'm working with you, I feel like a proud father. And she kind of looked sad when he said that. And he's like,
because she's remembering the situation with her own father.
Yeah, she goes, sorry, I had a really rough morning. And she goes, I found my biological father, and he flat out rejected me. And Doc's like, I thought your father passed away. So I think she has to catch him up. She goes, yeah, the one that raised me did. She's like, but I just found out that my mother had an affair. She goes, anyways, it wasn't worth looking for him. And she's like, matter of fact, sad, but matter of fact. And he's like, yeah? She goes, I think I was trying to fill a void. Takes a deep breath. She goes, which seems crazy now. He goes, hey. And he walks a little closer, puts his hand on her shoulder, and he goes, I may not be your father, biological or otherwise. He's like, but I am always here for you. And I consider myself lucky to be. And if this guy doesn't see that, and he's the one who's missing out.
Yes.
And she's like, And she's like, you're right. He is missing out. And she's like, but there's actually someone else that I wanted to walk me down the aisle anyway. As she drinks her coffee and gets very coy. And he looks at her with his big eyes. He's like, I would be honored. Big smiles. You did mean me, right? And she's like, yeah. He goes, okay, I just wanted to make sure, you know. So of course I meant you. He goes, really? She goes, thank you. Big hug and a kiss. He's been more of a dad to her than anybody since her real father. Or her, I guess, non-biological father.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just hope I can see the look on Jack's face. She's like, you will. She goes, you will. The clinical trial is gonna work. He goes, it better, because I also hope to see you deliver my great grandbaby this spring. Mel looks at him, and she's like, she goes, oh my God, Lizzie's pregnant? He's like, yeah. She goes, she finally got the courage to tell her mother. So she said, it's okay for me to share the news. She's like, congratulations. Thanks. She goes, oh my God, you must be thrilled. She goes, and Hope must be thrilled. And she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, what a perfect Christmas. He goes, yeah. She goes, and if we can win this tree competition, that'd be the icing on the sugar cookie. He goes, yeah, that would be amazing. Damn near perfect, he says. He's like, would you mind staying with Charmaine until the ambulance gets here? Because there's something I need to do for Hope tonight. She's like, sure. She goes, I'll see you there. So she knows he's up to something, but you know what? Let him go do it. So he gets on the phone, and he calls Denny. And he's like, Denny, where are you? At the village? Listen, I need your help with something. So Denny's on the other line. He goes, no problem, Grandpa. I'm on it. So now we're obviously at the village, and Preacher and Kaya are there. And Kaya's like, so I know Christmas isn't until tomorrow, but I was hoping that I could give you your gift early. And he's looking at her like, okay. She goes, do you mind? I have it with me. And he's like, He's like, what would Jesus do? As they're looking at a little, like, manger. And she starts laughing. I like Kaya. She's cool. He goes, okay, look. I was thinking about what you said yesterday. And with the job that I took to stay here ending soon, I wanted to assure you that right here is where I want to be. So you're looking at the new Virgin River Fire Chief as she holds up her Fire Chief badge. And he's like, wait, since when? She goes, a few hours ago. I knew Hope was looking. I told her I was interested, and she gave me the job on the spot. He goes, so you're here for good? She goes, I am. She goes, which means I won't be giving you the gift of missing me like I planned. But I hope you won't get sick of me too fast. He's like, oh, not a chance. He goes, so just to be clear, though, you're staying for the job? She's like, no, I'm staying for you. He goes, oh. He goes, I have no idea how I'm going to beat this gift. He goes, oh, I'm sure you'll think of something. So we have Jack. He's in the town, and Mel's coming. He goes, oh, you made it. She goes, yeah, the rink just closed. She goes, yeah, I figured. It's okay. He goes, how's Charmaine? She goes, oh my gosh, she is in love with her boys. And he's like, aw. He goes, they're on their way to Grace Valley right now just to stay overnight. But they're fine. He goes, good. He goes, yeah. And she absolutely loved the fruitcake we gave her.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
she did not. He goes, oh yeah, she did. He goes, well, I'm glad that went to good use. And they high five each other. And so Mel's like, so how are your parents? Because remember, they've been in like timeout all day trying to get along. And he's like, I don't know. No idea. Haven't heard from them. She's like, I don't know if they're going to show tonight or tomorrow. And she's like, well, we have a running theme then because Joey just called me. And Morgan has the stomach bug. And he goes, oh, come on. He goes, yeah, they're just going to ride it out at the B&B tonight. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. He's like, I'm sorry. She kind of shrugs her shoulders. She goes, well, he goes, I feel like our big plans for an extraordinary Christmas just didn't work out, huh? And she's like, I don't know about that. She's like, well, yeah, sure, people bailed, and I was rejected by my biological father. And he's like, yeah, there's that. She goes, and we didn't get to go skate. He goes, but I mean, we're here now. It's this beautiful place with our chosen family. He goes, She goes, and I think that's pretty extraordinary. He's like, really? She's like, yeah. She goes, the best people in my life are the ones who choose to be in it. That is a perfect line. It should be on a T-shirt. For so many people that don't have families, it's a perfect line.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
She goes, and I think that's something to celebrate. She goes, and hopefully something our children will be able to celebrate too one day. And he goes, I'm sure. And then they run into Doc, and he goes, oh, Merry Christmas Eve. Hugs and kisses all around. And then Hope runs up, and she's like, yes, there you are, Vernon. Okay, you guys. Obviously, the winner is decided by secret ballot, but I know both of your handwriting. And Jack's like, okay. And so if we don't win, I'm putting you on my naughty list. Come on, Vernon. And she drags him away. It's like, good Lord, this woman. So love the scenery with the snow-topped mountains and the town. You can tell it's like the Christmas lights. And so it's nighttime. Here we are. Bert is the MC of the evening, and he says, welcome to the 44th annual Virgin River Christmas Tree Decorating Competition. We haven't seen Bert in a while. It's nice to see him. It's so nice. So everyone's gathered around. They're all clapping. Crowd's cheering. He goes, now let's light these puppies up and silently judge our friends and family. That's funny. He goes, all right, let's do this. And they do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He hits the button and everything lights up. And they all yell, Merry Christmas. And then they play, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. So the happy faces, everybody's pointing. It's like, looks nice. All right, who's going to win? So everyone's congratulating each other and hugging and Christmas music in the background. Everybody's walking around with like warm things to drink. So Jack and Bree are like holding each other and just like being goofy, dancing. And looks like Nick and Joellen's tree has a train around it. And he's like, wow, that looks really great. It's so much fun. And Doc and Hope are looking at their tree and everybody's just walking around. The competition is fierce this year. So Hope is putting some finishing touches. And Lizzie's mom comes up and she goes, I've always loved the Nutcracker. And Hope is like, well, we have that in common. She goes, Lizzie was a big help, as always. I mean, she's always to her mother. It's like she has to constantly build Lizzie up. Because it's like her mother doesn't see her, and Hope wants her mother to see her and know what value she brings. And it's like she feels like she needs to keep reminding her. Almost like a shove in your face because you don't see your own kid. You don't see how awesome she is. So I'm going to have to keep telling you until you figure it out.
Yep.
And the mom just looks at it and she goes, I didn't expect her to grow up so quickly. She looks at the tree and she goes, I feel like I blinked and I missed it. She goes, and now I don't know where I fit in, especially given how close you two have become. She goes, once
Oh,
Lizzie has the baby, she's going to come to you for all sorts of things I can't help her with. Breastfeeding tips. She goes, she was bottle fed. She goes, sleep training. Oh, we had a night nanny. That woman was a godsend. Ha ha. Gigi. Gigi the night nanny. See? Night nannies are a godsend. You knew that already, though. And Hope's like, well, you get my point, Deidre. She's going to need you. It's like, really? Is she really going to need her? She goes, I'm part of her village, but I'm not her mom, which is true. And they see Lizzie, and Lizzie's like, hi. And she goes, I'm glad you're both together because we have some news. And they look at each other, and they look at them, and they're like, it's a girl. Deidre and Hope hug each other, and they're like, see, a girl? She's in it for the world. That I can help her with. And they're like, congratulations, Dad. Hope gives Denny a hug. He's like, oh my gosh. So they're all hugging and congratulating each other. So Lizzie and Denny are having a girl. Oh. Oh, Brady. We haven't seen him in a minute. So he's in town, and he's checking out the displays. And walking up behind him is Bree. And she's like, heya. And he turns around and he goes, heya yourself. And he goes, is this twice in 2 days? He's like, are you following me? She's like, no. He's like, no. He goes, well, I did not expect to see you here. He goes, well, I didn't expect to be here. She's like, did Lark and Hazel drag you out? He's like, no. He goes, they're at Lark's mom's place tonight. And I was actually just sitting home alone thinking, I need a little Christmas right this very minute.
there's a song there.
He's like, I can't get this song out of my head. He goes, yeah, neither can I. They both laugh. So Brady says, how's your holidays going? And Bree's like, they're a mess. My dad cannot accept my mom's new boyfriend. And having him here is not helping things. So, and he's like, so your mom brought a new boyfriend to Christmas? Wow. He goes, so Jack and I locked her in the house with my dad until they could work things out. And Brady's like, bold. But I'm sure he's going to come around. She goes, oh, no, I get it. You know, it's hard watching someone you love move on. Ooh. Yeah. As he's staring deeply into her eyes. He goes, no matter how happy you are for them. She kind of nods her head, and she's like, yeah. She looks down at her
I still love these two together. You see, the thing is, I'm torn.
Yes, I know.
I love Brady, but I also like Mike. You know what I mean?
I do too. And there's like Team Brady and Team Mike, and it's literally split.
Yeah, and there are things going through my head that I can't say on this podcast because it's kind of in trouble. But I love these two for her because it's so fits Brie in so many ways.
But it's like she is two sides of the same coin, and they each fit one side, and neither.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's the bad boy, and Mike is like the good boy. It's like the devil and the angel.
I know. It's like Two-Face in the comics. It's just so much this sort of situation. And they fit her so well. That's the problem I have with this.
I mean, honestly, if she could have them both, it would complete her because then she'd get the best of both worlds. But, you know, it's not that kind of show. So
that's what I was thinking.
Mean, there's other shows that would work on, but this is not one of them.
I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it.
Nope, I said it because it needed to be said. I'm sorry. It needed to be said.
Oh, my top was. Oh my God, yes.
Right?
Anyway.
Like he is the bad boy, and the chemistry between them is freaking amazing.
I know.
From the start, even from the beginning.
It's always been that. And then Mike is the part of her, which is the law-abiding part.
It's just like the totally different vibe. Like totally
different vibe. You know,
but yet equally as good.
Yes, and he's strong, but he's reliable. He's got, you know, he's always upfront with her and honest. It's that lawyer part of her that mixes with him. Yep. And it's just so perfect.
I know.
And it's just a shame, as you said, this show
Yeah, we can't do it. I'm sorry. Threesomes are not a Virgin River thing. I think we'd need a different rating if it was something like that. And I
Okay.
mean, it.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
it's
do?
just no,
But I
you
mean,
but you got
and Zibby Allen, the actress that plays Bree, she goes, "Yeah, it's not a hard job to have, being
no, it's not
chased
a
by
hard
two
job.
hot men.
Nope, not a hard job.
Yeah,
So
it's not a bad problem to have. So she's
nope,
just gonna have that problem, and she's just gonna have to just deal with it.
enjoy it.
Poor girl, poor girl. So sad. How will she survive it? I don't
I,
know.
I don't know.
She will
Some of us
find a
just,
way. She will trudge her
I,
way through it.
some of us just,
You
have
go,
such a
Zibby. You go. Enjoy it. I mean,
Ah,
Mel's been with Jack the whole time, and being stuck between the two of them, not a bad place to be. Oh my! But they still are making eyes at each other. And where are they standing?
exactly.
Right below the mistletoe.
You can feel the fire burning off of those two a mile away.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Now, interestingly enough, little backstory, little tidbit. Mike was supposed to be in this episode. He
Ah,
was supposed to, I believe it was written that he either catches them by the mistletoe or something to do with the mistletoe. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But I know he was supposed to be in this episode and he got COVID and he couldn't work. So they had, and this is back in whatever, 2023. So COVID was still a thing, 23. And they had to write around him. They just had to write it in a way that she knows he's there and part of her life, but Brady is still part of her life too in a way. And the way that they did it was they just have these two standing under the mistletoe, kind of laughing at each other, staring at each other. And Jack walks up. It's like almost like, thank God, because that could have gotten a little intense.
oh yeah.
And he's like, hey. And they're like, hey, Jack. And everybody's like, hey. Like, okay, you just, thank God. Saved the day. Like, whoosh, because I don't know. I don't know how long they could have stood there staring at each other under the mistletoe.
Tell me about it.
That
As
could
I
have gotten
said,
intense. And Jack is looking at the both of them like he's looking at Brady, looking at Bree, looking at Brady, looking at Bree. Like, what did I just walk into? And they're like, Merry Christmas.
We can't keep the thing about it is they're like a mortar flame with each other.
Yeah, they are. And
So.
Jack's like, yeah, Merry Christmas. And he's like, Mom and Dad are here. And she's like, oh. And they're like, Merry Christmas. So he like pulls her away. And they're like, Merry Christmas. And off she goes. And he looks up at the mistletoe and he laughs. And then he walks away. So the mom and the dad, they're like, okay, we're here. And we did what we were supposed to do. We settled it. And Jack clears his throat. She goes, we're sorry we're late, but we had an awful lot to talk about our marriage. And the dad's like, how we let our family drift apart. And he goes, well, that was on me too, Jack says. And Mom's like, no, it's not. It's on us, which means it's on us to fix it. And the dad says, you were right, Jack. We may not be married anymore, but we are still a family. And they're all kind of looking at each other like, wow, how mature are they? And he's like, and the dad's like, we should be able to be together even as our family grows. And Bree's like, so you didn't send Javi home? And Amelia's like, quite the contrary. And they're all looking at her. So you go, after your father and I talked, he spoke with Javi, and the two of them really hit it off. The dad's like nodding, like, yeah, we kind of did. He goes, turns out they actually have quite a lot in common. And then the dad has to open his mouth. And he's like, yeah, like our taste in women. Like, dude.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. Wow. He really went there. Like, he went from I hate this man to, yeah, we kind of like the same thing. And the mom looks at him and like, yeah, what?
Yeah.
Jack
like,
and the dad are laughing, and Bree is like, no, no. Like, I don't want to hear this stuff. She's like, no. And Amelia looks at the dad, and he's like, that will never be funny. And Jack's like, yeah, it's quite funny. Because the dad and Jack obviously have the same sense of humor. And the mom and Bree are like, no, And the dad's like, the point is, we are ready to spend Christmas together if we are still invited. And Bree is like, ugh. And she looks at, I love this. She looks at Jack. She's like, I don't know. What do you think? And Jack's like, well, I mean, it's a big ask. I mean, they are playing this up like this is a really hard decision. She goes, yeah, no, I know. Jack's like, yeah. And the parents are looking at them mortified like, oh my God, you're not going to exclude us. Like they're getting very nervous looks on their faces like, oh my God, they could still decide to keep us out of it. They're looking at each other and they're looking at Jack and Bree. And Bree's like, I mean, you know what Mom always says, though. The more the merrier, right? And Jack's like, right? It's like, and they kind of nod at each other and they both laugh really hard. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. We can all be together. It's like, oh my God, they almost had them. And so the mom goes over and like pushes on Jack and gives him a big hug. And Bree hugs her dad. And she goes, this is Christmas spirit. He goes, and that was funny. It was really funny. He goes, all right, so Javi's staying? It's like, yes, Javi's staying. Oh, my goodness. So there's this, like, lit tunnel, and Muriel and Cameron are walking through it. And Muriel's like, I cannot get over just how magnetic you were on stage last night. She's like, and how adorable you were with Hazel. And he goes, well, she was adorable. A real star is born. And she says, Cameron, I know what you said, that you could be happy with just the two of us, but he goes, I didn't just say that, I meant it. She's like, yeah, but there's going to be some things that you're going to miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's laughing. He's like, I mean, you're not going to be able to put milk and cookies out for Santa. And he's like, I don't have to have a kid to do that. She's like, look, I don't want to wake up one day and realize that you resent me for never having been a father. He goes, wait, what are you saying? He goes, what I'm saying is, losing you now would break my heart. But knowing that I was the reason you missed out on all those things that you wanted from your life, that would just break it even more. All I want for Christmas is for you to think this through. Okay, can you do that for me? And he's like, yes, I can. So she gives him a kiss. She goes, good. And they continue walking arm in arm. Oh, she's very sad because I think she knows there's a good chance that he might not come back.
She said it'll pain now, but it'll pain less.
Oh, it'll be worse later.
It'll be worse later on if she doesn't give him the choice.
Yeah.
You know, because
it may come back to bite them later, even more than they're dealing with, in their current situation.
Amen, sister.
So now we're at Hope and Doc's Nutcracker tree, and Mel is checking it out, and she's like, what made you choose the Nutcracker theme? And Hope says, Vernon took me to see the Nutcracker on our very first Christmas together. How sweet. He goes, it might not be the most inventive tree here, but it's the most meaningful to us. He's like, I actually forgot to light up one element, Doc says. He goes, that would make it this very unique. And she's like, what? And Denny pulls this lever, and it's one of the nutcrackers, and a sign pulls down, and it says, will you marry me again?
Isn't that cute?
It's
adorable.
So cute. And Hope's looking at it, and he goes, oh, come on. He goes, I have seen so many wonderful things in my life. He goes, and I hope that I'm lucky enough to see many, many more in the days ahead. As he's looking at Hope, and he goes, whatever happens, I know that you will always be my guiding light, as you have always been. So while I still can, he grabs her face. He goes, I want to look in the eyes and marry you all over again, Hope McCrae. Aw. He's, God, I love you. He's like, I love you. And they give a kiss. They're so cute.
Too adorable. And the whole town is now watching
Yep,
this.
everybody's standing around. So cute. And Liddy has the sign that says that they are the winner of the Christmas tree contest. And he holds it up. Very cool. Everybody's clapping.
Bragging rights for the year.
Yep. So cute. So now we are at the skating rink. Mel and Jack by themselves. And she's like, okay. He can barely stand up. She's like, are you okay? He goes, I'm good. And she's doing pretty good. He goes, you think it's funny? Goes, yeah, I do. He goes, because I finally found something that Jack Sheridan isn't good at, as they both laugh. She goes, best Christmas ever, as they stand there, and all of a sudden it starts to snow, and they're looking up at the snow, holding each other, as the song plays a Christmas song sings in the background. Now, there's a lot of people that had an issue with this episode because it's this whole season was severely lacking in romance.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like there was a lot of action, there was a lot of intrigue, there was drugs and, miscarriages and fires and all kinds of crazy stuff. But the heart of the show is the romance, especially Mel and Jack. And a scene like that where he took her to he was able to get into the skating rink even though it was closed. And the two of them are standing there skating and they hold each other looking up at the snow. Everybody's like, he couldn't have kissed her? Like, seriously? Like somebody did, one of the girls who's on Instagram, she has a video. It's actually really well done of all the kisses, VR chat room. It's all the kisses from beginning to end. It's so many. There's like 200 and something. So many kisses of Mel and Jack in order of when they happened from each season. And it's so long. It's actually two different videos, 2 different Instagram posts. And it's like season 5 has like a handful compared to all the other seasons. And this was like a missed opportunity. Like this particular moment, it almost like deserved a kiss. And they just dropped the ball. It's like, come on, really? Like, come on, guys. Did you forget what kind of show you have? Seriously?
Yeah.
But whatever.
As I said,
whatever.
These new showrunners just
That's okay.
piss me off.
I know. They needed to find their legs and they got a lot of feedback.
Oh,
let's just leave it at that. And they made these significant changes and all the romance and the heat came back for season 6. So when we get there, whew, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So
bloody time. But
just saying, that little moment with the snow deserved just a little kiss, just a little one. Like it needed it. And it's like we all waited like, oh, okay. What? We're going to switch scenes? Really? Like that's all we get? Really? Moving on. So Preacher I guess it's Christmas morning, and he is bringing a cup of coffee to Kaya, who's in his bed. And she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, I think I beat your gift. And she's like, And he opens up the window and showing her that it's snowing. And she gets out of bed and she goes up to the window and they give a kiss. Even there's 2 kiss more than Mel and Jack. What the heck? And they're just watching the snow. So now we're with Brady, and he's holding Lark's hand as they're walking down the road. And Hazel is just walking beside them, and he's like, can you catch a snowflake on your tongue? As she's trying to do that. And he's like, that's it. And she's just running like a little kid, spinning in the snow. And then we get to Hope and Doc's house, and Lizzie has a present for her mom. Looks like they're exchanging presents on Christmas morning. And she's like, thank you. And she opens it. Everyone's looking, and it's a shirt. A sweatshirt that says, best glamma ever. Oh, of course. She's not a grandma. She's a glamma.
No. Yes.
Oh my
she
God.
She did not like the grandma title.
And everybody's laughing, and Hope is like, glamma. That's great. And it's like neon pink. Like obscene pink.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So now we've gotten through to the evening, and remember Jack had been setting up the Christmas dinner table for everyone. So they had closed the bar and they're having Christmas dinner, and we've got Jack and Mel at one end of the table with Joey and her 3 kids, and her husband, and we've got Jack's parents, and we've got Javi and Bree. Mike made it to Christmas dinner. So everyone's sitting around the table. They're laughing. People are getting along. It's funny that the mom is sitting between the dad and her boyfriend. That's kind of funny. But everyone's talking to each other and laughing and having a good time. And the dad is taking a really cute picture of Mel and Jack. And that picture that he takes is actually, I've seen several times in like promos and stuff. Everyone's doing cheers with their glasses. Now remember, Jack doesn't drink because he is staying off of alcohol. So he's got water. Mel's no longer pregnant, so she can have wine. So everyone...
Yeah, he's a recovering alcoholic.
Yep.
We do not indulge in...
Yes, so everyone's doing cheers with their wine and their glasses, and they've got a really nice song in the background. And so now at the end of the evening, this is such a cute scene. So Mel and Jack are back at the cabin, and they're both laughing, having a good time. And she's like, babe, you really outdid yourself with these earrings. Because remember, she kept saying, you can get me whatever you want as long as you get me jewelry. Every time
jewelry.
she mentions jewelry.
That's a woman after my own heart.
Right. And she holds the earrings and she's like, oh, she goes, I love them so much. And he's like, good. Thank you. And he's like, you're welcome. He goes, but I'm not done yet. She goes, what? He goes, mm-hmm. She goes, what do you mean? Now, I actually made a Instagram post about this. This is like the second or third time where he'll do something for her, and then for him, it's always one more. There was one where he had, when he gave her the swing in the front yard of the cabin, and he laid out that whole table of stuff. Remember, he said, here's a bath. I drew a bath for you. Get relaxed.
Right.
And then he left a note, come outside. And then she came out and he had put the swing up and she was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And this whole table, it's beautiful. And then he's like, wait. I have one more thing. And he took her to the dock. And that's where he had the boat and all the tea lights were on the thing. He does that a lot where he's like, one more thing, just one more. Like he can't just do one thing. Nope. He has to always do something extra.
He likes to up the ante. He doesn't. He likes to keep her in. He likes to keep the suspense going.
You figure he hadn't really been with anyone in like 20 years. He's been saving all this up, and he gets to just like let it all out for Mel. So it's adorable. It's so romantic. And so he was like, hold on. And she's like, what are you doing? And so he goes to the bathroom, and he opens the door. And he goes in. She goes, should I close my eyes? Or he goes, I think you might want to keep them open for this. And she's like, okay. And she takes a deep breath. And he comes out. And the first thing you see is a puppy with a big red bow. Like, you don't even see Jack. You just see the puppy. And she's like, oh, my gosh. He's like, you didn't. And he's like, I did. She goes, oh, my gosh, you got me. And the name tag on the dog is Pony. She's like, you got me a pony? He goes, I got you a pony. It's so cute. And she grabs the dog. She goes, hey, you. And he's so cute. And he's licking her face. And he's like, Merry Christmas, as they both laugh. Oh, that's so cute. So she got her pony.
Ah, yes.
So remember Brady, because his place got burnt down, he's been living above the bar. So we're back at the bar, and they're up in his room, him and Lark and Hazel, and they're playing checkers. And he's basically winning a checker, and he's like, okay, this one's mine. So Hazel's like, oh no. She's like, could have gotten you there. And so they're playing, and her phone rings. Lark sees the phone, and she's like, hey, I got to take this. And he's like, yeah, sure. She leans over, gives him a kiss, and takes the phone out, and she goes down, I guess, away. She goes downstairs into the bar, and she's like, hello? And he goes, how's our little girl doing? It's this man's voice. While Brady and Hazel continue to play checkers upstairs. And she's like, Hazel's doing good. And guess who's on the other line? It's Jimmy calling from jail. I knew I didn't like her. She's like, she had a pretty magical Christmas. Oof.
You know, it's interesting. Oh, some of these women, all with the jailbaits.
I
What's the
know.
deal?
I don't know. I don't know. Now
Uh,
now remember, she used to live at the pot camp.
okay, so I give her that.
So, I mean, I don't know how long she lived there cuz Hazel's like maybe 7. So they've
Mm-hmm.
been together at least that long?
Yep.
I mean, but Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
like, she
Well,
seems a little young
everybody,
for him, but I don't know.
everybody needs to have somebody, they say. So
So
let's see.
now, okay, so now it's like, so is it that he doesn't know that she's seeing Brady? Or is, I mean, it's like, we don't know the situation.
Oh, we're
Now,
about to
for
find
this is,
out.
yeah, this is like, okay, one surprise that Jimmy is Hazel's father, which would freak the hell out of Brady if he ever found out.
Tell me about it.
Can you imagine? So then Jimmy's like, what
No.
about Brady?
Mm-hmm.
And sinister music playing. Yeah. She's like, he doesn't suspect a thing. Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I got a icky feeling about her. And she's saying that with a smile, like a smug smile.
Exactly.
And Jimmy's laughing. He's like, huh, yeah, cool. Wow. So this whole thing is a
Is a
ploy.
setup.
Wow. So Preacher is talking. He's like, hey, Mike. He goes, I hate to bother you on Christmas. He goes, the state ME identified the body. They know it's West Logan. She goes, so how much trouble am I in? He goes, the thing is about to blow up. Because remember, Mike knew about everything that went on. I think they told Mike, but I don't know, I guess he kept it to himself.
Yeah, because they hadn't found anything.
Right, right. And Preacher's like, okay. Now, obviously, Kaya doesn't know anything about this. He's like, thanks for letting me know. And he goes, yeah, man, don't worry about it. And he looks very worried. And Kaya's like, what happened? And Preacher's like, she goes, can you tell me anything? And he doesn't say anything. Oh. So, Mel and Jack are sitting on the porch of their cabin with this cute puppy in her lap. Just so happy. So adorable. And they're just so cute playing with the dog. He goes, you want another treat? And they're just like, oh, it's so cute. She goes, you're better than jewelry. And then they see a car approaching, coming up their driveway. A familiar looking truck.
Here
Familiar
comes the
looking truck.
suspense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she passes the dog over to Jack, takes a deep breath, and he's like, are you sure? And she looks terrified and worried and very concerned. And Everett Reed gets out of his car and he walks up her walkway and she's like, hey.
Oh boy.
He takes off his hat. She's like, is there something I can help you with? Very matter of fact, but you can tell she's crushed. Like, you've already broken my heart. I am not going to let you do it again.
I think it's more like she's pissed.
Oh,
It's
she's
like, you're in
pissed
my
too, but
space now.
she's the
Yeah.
disappointment, the rejection. It's just so sad. It's like, what do you want now? You already rejected me. What could you possibly want now? And he's like, I am looking for Mel Monroe. And she's like, with tears in her eyes, she goes, who's asking? And he's like, her father. She takes a deep breath. She goes, you look so much like your mom. And she kind of smiles. She goes, seeing you just broke my heart all over again. I didn't know what to say. I mean, okay, I'm going to give him that. He didn't have to lie. And I can imagine thinking, okay, I have a daughter. She's out there in the world. I wanted to see her, but it was best that I didn't. Someone else was raising her. The woman died. And I just have to move on with my life never knowing. And then to have her, knowing that she looks so much like her mother, show up right in his face.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big, 37, 38 years later. That's a shock.
Yeah.
I mean, it caught him off guard for sure. But the way that he shut her down, like granted, he had to think on his feet. And maybe that wasn't the best reaction. But so she's like, so you lied? And he's like, I didn't lie. I'm not the man who wrote those letters. Not anymore anyway. Not since your mom died. He goes, I suppose you feel that too in some way. He goes, well, look, I don't know what you wanted to say to me or what you wanted me to say back. He goes, I don't know if you wanted me in your life or you just wanted to ask me for a kidney or something. And she laughs. She's like, no. Either way, I am your father. And she's crying. And I'm here now. She's kind of like just shaking her head with a smile. He goes, I brought you something. And he pulls out of his pocket a big stack of letters tied with a string. I just thought you might want to hear your mom's voice one more time.
Oh.
And he hands her the letters. She's like, thank you, as she's crying. He goes, also, I've got something important I need to tell you. And she kind of takes a deep breath, like ready to hear it.
And they end it.
And that's the cliffhanger. Like, what?
Really?
Like, okay,
Really?
He doesn't need a kidney. But is he married? Does she have siblings? Is he dying? Like, what? Seriously.
Yeah. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The suspense keeps going.
Yep. Now, the first episode of season 6, they had said that there was going to be a time jump, which is a shocker on itself, that it was going to be in spring. And it was determined after some careful calculating that it was about mid-April that the new season started. So we've skipped from Christmas Day evening to middle of April. So it's been like 4.5 months when the season 6 starts. And that dropped December 19th of 2024. So
I'm glad you can keep track of this because it's a headache in my opinion.
I know. But it's I mean, it's a shame that it's like it takes a year. You get 10, 12 episodes and then you have to wait another year. So these episodes dropped in late November and then it was like a year and 2 weeks, 3 weeks that the next season. So they just finished filming season 7. Who knows when that will come out? I mean, there's talk it might be the end of the year. There's talk it might be the beginning of the next year. We don't know. And there's really no word yet. And they usually don't say anything until we get into like the fall. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, okay, so we've got cliffhangers. We've got what does Everett Reed need to say? We've got Doc is going to be doing a clinical trial after the first of the year. Lizzie and Denny are having a baby. The body that was found in the woods is Wes, and oh no, how is that going to impact Preacher and Kaya for that matter? What's going on with Bree and her love triangle between Brady and Mike? And we just found out that Lark is doing some shenanigans with Brady behind his back in cahoots with Jimmy, who is now Hazel's father. So that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack for season 6. Yep. And remember, Mel and Jack they purchased or are planning to purchase or will be purchasing the land, Lily's land, the farm, and building a house. And they're planning a wedding. So
yep, it's busy time for everybody.
There's a lot to unpack for season 6. They've definitely left the door wide open for a lot to go on. And then we have to see how Calvin and his whatever affects Charmaine and her twins. So I think did I cover everybody?
I think so, yeah.
I think I might have covered everybody.
Yeah.
So,
the bad boys are coming in strong.
Oh, there's a lot less crime and negative stuff. There's a lot more romance and a lot more positives in season 6, and that was intended because of sadness and the difficult things that happened in season 5. So they flipped the switch, a lot more positive, a lot more romantic, a lot more love and steam, and very steamy. In fact, Ben Hollingsworth, who plays Brady, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a steamy season. Just get ready." So that'll be fun. So yeah, there you go.
All
Season
right, ladies
5
and
is
gentlemen.
done. We have finished all 5 seasons, and we are ready for season 6 next time.
Okay, folks.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. This is a long one.
Yep.
This is a very long episode. I should have said that in the beginning, but that's okay. I apologize for the length of this, but we just had a lot to say. There was a lot to unpack there. There was so much that happened.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Gigi, once again.
You're welcome. Au
And
revoir, folks.
we will be back to talk about season 6 soon enough. All right. Have a great day. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. We appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.